The killer shall be killed. I am the judge in this case, and I have sentenced myself to death. Silence dominated the courtroom for a moment that felt as if time itself had stopped. Breaths were held. Faces froze. Eyes widened in utter disbelief. The judge who pronounced the verdict was sentencing himself to death. A man who spent long years adjudicating between people with justice now sits behind the same judicial bench, reading the death sentence against only one person, himself. At that moment, no one inside the hall knew. Is what they are hearing the truth? Or are they witnessing a scene that will never be repeated in the entire history of the judiciary? How did a judge known for his integrity and piety reach the point of demanding his own arrest? And how did a dispute over a piece of land turn into a story that shook the entire Saudi South in the 80s? This is no ordinary story. This is the story of Judge Oli Al-Fayfi. Peace be upon you. Tonight's story is one of those tales that, when you hear it for the first time, feels like a meticulously written novel. But the truth is, it actually happened. This true story took place in 1985 AD in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, specifically in the Jazan region. FIFA Governorate, or the mountains of Jibal FIFA. The southern regions of Saudi Arabia lived in a character completely different from today. Towering mountains touching the fog. Narrow roads winding around cliffs, distant villages, and the sounds of the wind at night as it collided with the doors of old stone houses. In the heart of those mountains lies FIFA. FIFA, a region known for its men, its customs, the strength of its tribal ties, and for the fact that one's word and reputation carry more weight than anything else. From there came a man named Ahmed. Let's call him Ahmed to preserve the privacy of the story. Ahmed was no ordinary man. Since his childhood, he was different from his peers. Quiet, soft-spoken, extremely focused. While many of his generation turned toward trade, agriculture, or tribal affairs, he chose the path of knowledge. He studied law and Sharia, and he was remarkably brilliant. His teachers used to say, "This man was born for the judiciary." With the years, he indeed became a judge in one of the southern courts. He was tall, with a majestic presence. He did not raise his voice much, but when he spoke, everyone fell silent. The people knew him for his wisdom, justice, and for reconciling adversaries. Many of the cases that reached the court would end before a verdict was even issued, simply because Judge Ahmed was able to convince both parties to reach a settlement. Family disputes, problems between brothers, tribal cases, financial disagreements. He always tried to make everyone come out with the least possible losses. Because of this, the people loved him. But in the mid-80s, a case reached him that would change his entire life. The case was between two tribes from the same region. In truth, they were cousins. They traced back to a single origin. But over time, the family branched into two large branches, and each side became almost an independent tribe. The reason for the dispute: a piece of land, an old land inherited from ancestors. With the passing of years, the borders blurred and clear proofs were lost, and each side began to claim the land belonged to them. Over time, the problem turned into a real enmity. Brawls, skirmishes, constant tension. Even some men began to avoid passing near the disputed land for fear of clashes. When the case reached Judge Ahmed, he knew it was not an easy one. He sat for long days, reviewing old documents, hearing witnesses, scrutinizing arguments, asking the elderly, and trying to understand the full truth. He knew very well that any ruling he issued would make one party happy and another party resentful. In the end, he issued his verdict. The land belonged to the first party. The official deed was issued, and the dispute legally ended. At least, that is what everyone thought. The party that won the case rejoiced greatly. After years of conflict, the land was finally theirs officially. Some of them began planning to build, some to farm, and some returned to the land as if reclaiming a piece of their dignity. As for the second party, anger was burning within them, especially a man named Hodi. Hodi was known for his nervousness and sharpness, a man who always carried his weapon. Like many men of the region at that time, in those years, carrying a weapon was customary in many areas of the south and Yemen as well. Janbias daggers, rifles, pistols, all were part of the tribal culture back then. One day, a man from the first party reached Judge Ahmed. His face was tense, and his voice was low, as if he feared someone might hear him. He said to him, "O Sheikh Ahmed, I have come to you as an advisor for the sake of God." The judge raised his head toward him. "What is it?" The man said, "Hodi is threatening you, and he has sworn that he will kill you." A heavy silence followed. Then the man continued, "I heard the words myself. The man is very angry because of the ruling." At that moment, Judge Ahmed felt something cold pass through his chest, because the threat here was not just talk. People knew each other. The weapons were there. And revenge and anger sometimes push a person to actions whose consequences they do not consider. He thanked the man. But since that night, he was no longer at peace. He started carrying his pistol with him always, even inside his house. He would sometimes place it near him while sleeping. Every sound outside the house made him alert. Every knock on the door raised the level of tension within him. He began to live in a state of constant anticipation. Inside the house, Judge Ahmed was sitting and thinking. Then, someone knocked on the door. Heavy knocks. He froze in his place. He looked toward the door. The sound returned again. He stood up slowly, and with every step, his heart beat faster. He reached for his weapon. Then he opened the door, and there, he saw him, Hodi, the same man he was told wanted to kill him, standing in front of the door. And he was wearing his weapon. At that moment, Judge Ahmed did not think long. All the threats he had heard, all the nights he had lived in fear, all the anticipation, exploded all at once inside him. He raised his weapon, and he fired. One shot. Its sound echoed in the middle of the mountains, and Hodi fell in front of the door, killed. Silence followed. A heavy, terrifying silence. Judge Ahmed remained standing for moments, looking at the body, unable to comprehend what had happened. Then suddenly, he realized the truth. He had killed a man. He went directly to the police station. He entered and handed over his weapon himself. He said, "I killed Hodi." Then he began to explain everything. The threats, the warnings, the fear he lived through, and the scene of Hodi in front of the door. The investigation began. The witness who had previously warned the judge was summoned, and he indeed confirmed that Hodi was threatening to kill the judge. Many also testified that the judge was living cautiously and carrying his weapon for fear of the threat. The case became massive, because the accused here was a judge. In the first trial, -1 judges gathered to look into the case. Long sessions, many deliberations. In the end, the first verdict was issued, considering what happened as self-defense, with the judge being obligated to pay the dear blood money. But the case did not end. It was appealed. Then it reached the Court of Cassation. Even there, -1 judges upheld the same ruling. Only the dear, this means blood money. But due to the sensitivity of the case, the file was raised to the highest authority in the kingdom. The matter reached King Fahd. King Fahd bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. King Fahd was known for his keenness on justice and scrutiny in major cases. When he read the file, he made an unprecedented decision: a retrial. But that was not the strange part. The strangest thing was that the one who would judge the case was the judge himself, Ahmed. People did not believe it. How can a person judge himself? But the king saw that the man was known for integrity and piety, and that he was the closest person to the full truth. And indeed, the trial was reconvened. Judge Ahmed entered the hall. But this time, he was not only a judge, he was also the accused. He sat behind the bench. Before him was the case file, and all eyes were watching him. Then he began to write the verdict. The first line he wrote was, "The killer shall be killed." The hall trembled. Then he began to explain. He said, "When I went out and fired, did I know the end scene? Did I actually see Hadi raising his weapon? Did he start firing at me? Or was I too hasty?" He said, "It is true that there was a threat, and it is true that I was afraid. But does this justify that I kill him before he does anything?" Then he concluded his verdict with kisses against himself, and he requested his own arrest. At that moment, the man turned into a legend in the eyes of many people. Even his adversaries were shocked by his justice. The case spread very widely. People in councils, in markets, in houses, they were all talking about the judge who sentenced himself to death. The verdict was ratified, and Judge Ahmed began waiting for the retribution inside prison. But King Fahd did not stop there. He saw that the man was not a criminal by nature, and that the case carried a suspicion of self-defense. So he ordered attempts at reconciliation. The Emirate of Ossia intervened. The Emirate of the Ossia region. Sheikhs and notables came. They tried to convince Hadi's family to pardon him. They said to them, the man was not a criminal. He was afraid. But the blood relatives refused. They insisted on. But the blood relatives refused. They insisted on. Execution per capital punishment. As the days passed, people began to sympathize more with the judge, because he could have held on to the previous acquittal verdict, and everything would have ended. But he chose to try himself. In fact, he sentenced himself to death. This is what made people see him as a rare example of justice and the fear of God. After long pressure and attempts, the blood relatives said, "We have conditions. The first condition, all of the judge's properties are to be transferred to them." They agreed. His land, his house, everything. The second condition, the judge is to be dismissed permanently from the judiciary. They agreed as well. But the third condition was shocking. They said, "Our cousins, the party that won the land, must leave the entire region and renounce their properties." Shock hit everyone, because these were originally the owners of the first case, and now they were being asked to leave their homes and lands. For the sake of saving the judge, the men gathered. They sat for long hours consulting each other. The decision was almost impossible. But the surprise was that they agreed. They said, "By God, we will not leave the judge." In a painful scene, the families began preparing to depart. Cars loaded with furniture. Women crying. Children not understanding what was happening. Men hiding their tears with difficulty. The entire village came out to watch the scene. A scene of collective displacement. For the sake of one man. But not just any man. A judge who sentenced himself to retribution. When Hadi's family saw that scene, something changed inside them. They saw people leaving their homes and land. They saw sadness filling the region. And they felt that the matter had exceeded its limit. They finally decided to renounce their claim. They returned the deeds. And they waived the third condition. And the case ended. But the story never ended in the memory of the people. Because it was not just a case of killing. It was a story about justice, the fear of God, and conscience. About a man who could have escaped easily. But he chose to judge himself before the people judged him. Therefore, the story of Judge Al-Fayfi remained one of the strangest and most famous stories passed down by people in the south of the kingdom until today. I hope you enjoyed this story. If it resonated with you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Crimes from the Arab World. Join our community and explore an incredible archive of over 3,000 true crime stories from across the region. There are many more untold tales waiting for you.